All right. So, Baruch Hashem, we are continuing Torah Nun Vav. We're holding Lasif Vav Zayin. Basically, Rabbeinu had explained that every person, Am Yisrael, has his own malchus. These are neshamas that are under him, who receive from him, who are subservient to him. And some of these people are by him, like his family, and some people are not by him. And by most people, a person doesn't even know, those neshamas who are covertly under him. Who might there be? What do they need? For Avodas Hashem, some people need chizuk, some people need service, some people need, some good telling to. So, each person, at different points in life needs a different type of chizuk, different kind of guidance, different kind of teichacha. Now, that position of authority a person have, Ben explains, is a dangerous proposition. Because a malchus mikaber says ba'aleh. The position of authority, having malchus, shortens the life of the person, of the office holder. Because malchus is a very acerbic substance, is acidic substance. Malchus the machusa dina, di machusa dina. The main character, the main trait of malchus is the fact that it uses force, that it uses dinim. Ultimately, the role of the malchus, the way that malchus works, is the malchus uses din and judgment and force in order to enforce people to get to the tachlis. That's why they say that the color of the malchus is tchelis. Tchelis. It goes tchelis in shon tachlis. Yeah, right. So the tchelis, the Zohar says, why is it called tchelis? It says the achli kola, the shatzi kola. It consumes everything and it eradicates everything. What's the point? The point is that malchus is the tchelis is the koyach that the malchus has to chop off anything which is not negeya to the tachlis, and just get rid of it. It's like we said it like every government needs to have an army and a police force to enforce its decisions. And that's, of course, you live in Israel. That's a different story. And but that koyach of the police, of the army, is in order to further the goals of the leadership. So, man. So that means that somebody who holds in the malchus, who holds that position of authority, is holding a live wire in his hands. It is radiating, poisonous radiation, as it were. It's like a ball of radium. It's a poisonous. It's very acerbic. It's like dealing with acid. It's a problem. In order for the Malchus not to shorten the life of whoever it is that owns it, whoever it is of the office holder, as it were, a person needs to be mamshich harichas yamim, longevity, as it were, into the Malchus. In other words, so the Malchus shouldn't be such a, something so explosive, so, not something as unstable as nitroglycerin. Just sort of like make it more user-friendly. The way this is done is when a person is meichiach the people that are under him and guides them in the proper way. Then what he does, the only reason why a person got the Malchus is in order to guide other people. That role in life is just a Sefer Kadosh Baruch Hu. Everything else is just a light, and everything else is immaterial. When a person does that, when a person does his job as being, the melech, the ruler, then what happens is that the impetus, now the responsibility rests by those whom he admonished and called to order. If they choose to listen to him, Baruch Hashem, everybody goes home happy. As they say in the fairy tales, they live happily ever after. No problem. However, if they choose not to listen, okay, then it's their problem. As the Navi says, the Rosh that chooses not to listen to you is going to be a casualty of his own affairs. However, you as the one who was on top of him, you did your job. You told him what he needs to do. So, in order to do this, you have to be mamshich arichus yomim to the Malchus. The thing that is mamshich arichus yomim to the Malchus, in other words, that enables a person to be mechiach other people, is das. Das is that function in a person that builds his point of view, his comprehension, the way that he perceives and interprets reality as it comes to him. And he makes a decision according to his das. Okay, now I'm supposed to turn left, I'm supposed to turn right, now I'm supposed to do this, from this I'm supposed to stay away from, this I'm supposed to embrace. All these things are done through the das. The das is a capacity that the person forges to himself. The Chochmah and Bina to Esek HaTorah, and the Esek HaTorah that the person is Osek in the Torah builds and constructs his das. The das Amiti receives, its content. It's the finer points of what should I do in what case from Arichas Yomim itself, from Limud Torah, because the Torah is comprised of sections. There is Chomoshim, there's Parshas, there's Psukim, there are words. Each one of them is a truck. Each letter is a pail or a cup. Each word is a picnic basket. Okay? Every pasuk, you can take this idiom and just work with it until you hold him by it. Each one is a certain kli, is a certain vessel to carry within it, life, nothing short than life. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu is infinite. The infinite, Kadosh Baruch Hu, whatever he creates, the teva of the infinite to create, everything he would create is infinite also. If he will create an ant, the ant will be infinitely big. He creates a seashell, the seashell will be infinite. Because everything that infinite does is infinite. You take infinity, you divide it to any number, the result is infinity. So the Kodesh Baruch Hu created a step-down mechanism that will take the infinite koyach of the Kodesh Baruch Hu and step it down so that creation would have different size realities. Now, a mosquito will have a lion, will have an elephant, will have an ocean, will have a sky, all different things of different sizes, different colors. You take the Elokus, the godness of Kodesh Baruch Hu. What you do is mitzamtem the Elokus into the letters of the Torah. Every letter of the Torah is a step-down mechanism that constricts the Ein Sof Baruch Hu into a specific outcome that can exist in this world. It's a pele otzim. You come to think of it. The Ein Sof, the infinity of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The infinity, the Ein Sof of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The Koyach of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which is infinite. Yeah. And it mitzamtzem, it limits it so that an ant can be created here, a lion can be created here, a whale can be created here, a mountain created there, everything according to the combinations of the different Torah letters which comprise it. The building blocks of all reality are the letters of the Torah. They take koyach, which is without limit, and they squeeze it down into oisius, into letters, the letters of the Torah. Everything in reality is made up of the letters of the Torah. Physical, emotional, spiritual, anything. It's all made up with the letters of the Torah. Because the letters of the Torah, what they contain is life from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. They contain Keviyachol the HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which is life. But it's life, already in a limited fashion, so it can be used, so it can be utilized by a limited being like us. It's like when you take milk, I want to feed it to a baby. If you say, okay, babies need milk, right? So you throw it into a sea of milk, the baby's going to drown. Okay, so I say, okay, I won't throw it into it. That's really going too far. How about we just let the baby drink from a pail of milk, a whole pail of milk? Go ahead. There's a big jug. Used to have in olden days, these kind of metal jugs. Put the milk in there, whatever it is. Go ahead and open up the mouth. The baby is going to choke him up, right? It's going to overwhelm him. How can you get milk safely and healthily into a baby? The answer is you have to put the milk in a bottle or something like this, and then something that looks, like a nipple. And in that nipple, there's a tiny little, puncture. I mean, the width of a pin. And when the baby sucks on it, gives 1 drop, 2 drops, 3 drops. This is how a baby can be sustained. because the kalim of the baby are so small. So what we need to have the milk, which is the shefa, which is the chaim, which is the chaya chaim. That's the vitality, the life force of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We have to squeeze it down and limit it all the way in a way that is matim to the keli of the receiver, the baby. Anything more than that, the baby will suffocate. It's too much. Less than that, the baby will die of starvation. So how much should be the aperture of that hole? That is according to the capacity of the receiver, of the baby, to receive. A bigger baby can only drink from a cup, right? Smaller baby needs bigger baby, so forth and so on. All this kind of limitations and determinations of what the aperture of the shefa is done through the letters of the Torah. How much chayas, how it's going to be applied, according to what spheres this is going to be. It's all according to what Kadosh Baruch Hu determines come out of it. From a certain combination of the Torah will come ideas. Other combinations of the letters of the Torah will become a car. Other combinations of the Torah will become a shoe. Other combinations of the Torah will become water. So forth and so on. Everything according to the combination of the Torah. Each unit, the oisius, the tevis, the psukim, the parshas, is midos. These midos are vessels. These are units, measurement. Is a measured unit. There's a letter, there's a word, there's a pasuk, and so forth and so on. And what they do is they are in charge of breaking down the infinite koyach of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, infinite life of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, into measured amounts that are usable and tenable for us and for reality. Commensurate to that, there is malchus to all the people in the world. As Yisro told Moshe, he's supposed to appoint Sarei Alofim, Sarei Meis, Sarei Chamishim, Sarei Aseres. This is parallel to the Parshas and the Psukim and so forth and so on. Zeh keneged zeh. Each one according to his madrega. When a person learns Torah, he is consuming life. He's beckoning chayas from chaya chayim, from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. This constructs his das. That das is being injected into the malchus. Now, what happens is a very, very special kind of teitzah that comes out of it, and that is that when a person has a malchus, he's in charge of certain neshamas. Maybe he knows them, maybe he doesn't know them, maybe he knows what they need, maybe he doesn't know what they need. But the point is that they get their life force through him. Now, these neshamas exist in a situation of hastara. They don't recognize that the only reality in this world, the only tachlis in this world, is just to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to get close to him, and learn Torah and daven and reveal the Malchus HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the world. This is it. Anything else in this world means absolutely nothing, has absolutely no importance in and on its own, except on how it affects the closeness and the expression and the revealing of the Malchus HaKadosh Baruch Hu in this world. This is it. All the ideas of kavod, of wealth, of art, of even kindness, in anything in and on its own means absolutely zero, except in relation to how it actually affects the revelation of the Malchus of Kadosh Baruch Hu in this world. That's it. Now, people live in a star. We all live in a concealment. What do you mean live in a concealment? Kadosh Baruch Hu is concealed from us. So Rabbeinu says there are three levels to that. A certain level where, the lowest, the highest level of a star, which is Rabbeinu called a star, it's a concealment within a concealment. These are people that they don't even realize Kadosh Baruch Hu exists. Rabbeinu says such people have no chance of finding Kadosh Baruch Hu on their own, because they don't even know Kadosh Baruch Hu is hidden. They don't know anything is hidden from them. The Baal HaTanya calls it, soid and soides, secret and secrets of secrets. Secret is when there's something you don't know what it is, but you know there's something you don't know, but you don't know what it is. That's a soid. Soides is you don't even know there's a secret. So you don't know the secret. How can you ever find out? So this is the highest level of impairment, of concealment within concealment. Hastar of hastar. Then there's another level, lower level. A person that that allowed himself to become more slack. He knows his da said, this is straightforward, this is not enough, this is too much. Okay. Now he said, something, but I really feel like a little sushi. I wonder how Wagyu beef tastes like. It's interesting, no? Swiss chocolate. I don't know. What you're doing is you're just moving a little bit. That which was until now, not enough. You don't need to be so maniacal about it. So relax. It's easy. Nothing happens. So you eat a little sushi. What's the big deal? Eat a good steak. What's the problem? What a person does not realize is when he behaves like this, he creates what I call a paradigm shift in himself. He's moving a little bit. He's straight down the line, the straight and narrow becomes a little more, what used to be not enough, now that's okay, that's enough. Then, which used to be before like unthinkable becomes just a chak, it's like in time, in case of fire, break glass, kind of like, okay. Before it was, are you crazy? Now it becomes, no, but there's no. Now, what about what you have to do? Okay, the whole thing is shifting. Whenever a person does that shift, because this world is tempting, things taste good, things look nice, things feel nice. And a person sort of like gets himself used to, fulfilling his desires in that fashion. He creates a star. He creates a concealment. Kadosh Baruch Hu, and the fact that there's no other tachlis in the world except to serve Hashem becomes okay. It's a good option. That's the best option. If you know what's good for you, that would be your first choice. Okay, what you're doing? What?
Highest and best use.
Yes, highest and best use. It's just that's a suggested serving. It's like we have on boxes. That's the best way. It's not a must, but we'll learn Sichas Haran on Motzei Shabbos, where Rabbeinu puts the tachlis of this world in a very short sentence. But basically, the entire Torah afterwards is just a perush on that sentence. And Rabbeinu says, I think it's Reish Mem Chet. You remember? Okay. He says, a good thing would be for a person to find a place, to be kaveh, a place for himself, and sit there and learn and daven. Instead of Kodesh Baruch Hu, when he gets hungry, let it run to one of the houses, take a piece of bread, take a bite, and go back. It's it. That's the name of the game. This is it. Okay, everything else is okay. So you're not holding there. All right. So this is the second best, the third best, whatever it is. Okay, so but this is the kav yasher. This is the straight. This is the ora emes be'atzmai. As a person deviates from that, he creates a star. The bigger the deviation, the bigger the star. So a person doesn't even know Kodesh Baruch Hu. This is when a person is made, does an avera, and he repeats it again and again and again. Where a person just repeats an avera over Vishana, does it a couple of times, Nasalo Keheta becomes okay. You know, that's the new black. That's the new 60. You know, that's the that's the new standard. That's a new golden standard. Nasalo Keheta, it's fine, no problem. What do you watch movies? Okay, what's the big deal? Let's see, watch movies. There's a scene you should look at. Close your eyes. Okay. I understand. I'm just watching a game. I'm watching a game. You know, it's just a football game. You know, it's a baseball game. What's the big deal? You know, who am I hurting? Who am I hurting? There's no princess there. There's no. That's a person of the second level that every once in a while he realizes that the things that he's doing really should not be done. He's already in a stara. It's not so evident, or it's not a must by him that, a person comes to an end of the line at a certain point. Then a person enters his gray. And a person stands before Beis Shalom. Yeah, but I'm not ready to go yet. I don't plan on doing it anytime soon. Kind of like as if a person has any kind of control over it. But even when you say as if a person has any kind of control over it, he still is, okay. I'll start tomorrow. This is a second level. He knows that the Kadosh Baruch Hu, he knows that he allowed himself the luxury of deviation. And now Kadosh Baruch Hu is hidden from him. Whatever Kadosh Baruch Hu wants is the preferred option, but it's not a must, at least not for this moment. So this is a star. This is one star. He knows the Kadosh Baruch Hu is hidden. He knows he's the one who brought it about. And then there's a lower madrega still, where a person lives under like a thinner star. He knows there's no other tachlis except Tzara Kodesh Baruch Hu. He knows that doing things that should not be done should not be done. He knows he should get up. He knows he should work. He knows he should drive himself. But he has no koyach. There's something in him. We said this in the late 50s, early 60s. Early 60s. There was this guy that used to be a boxer, and he had this technique that prevented people, no matter how strong they were, from being able to lift him. I've got pictures with him, with Muhammad Ali, whatever. They're trying to pick him up. The guy was a small little guy, and he would put his finger on the neck of the guy, and then he would hold him by the wrist. They could not lift him out. You like paralyze certain whatever it is. They could not lift him up. The story that person lives in, not this that we live in, is touching this nerve. It paralyzes me. I cannot lift even the smallest thing. Cannot get to shul on time. Cannot daven b'chavon. I cannot, the smallest thing. I know I should, and I'm saying, I'm banging my head against the wall. I know it's all going to end in tears, and I still cannot move myself. What happens if this person gets a call from the police? We need you to come to the station for questioning. How long do you think it's going to take for the guy to be there? On the spot, right?
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it's going to be there. In other words, the reason why this Astora works on him, this thing works and he doesn't have the koyach, is because he's under Astora. He does not fully realize, there is no choice. There is no other way. It's a level of Astora. All these three levels, that the person has no koyach, that the person forgot, and the person is bichlal out of the picture altogether. These are the three levels of Astora. They need that their Astora, their situation of being blinded to the absolute reality of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that concealment itself is made of the letters of the Torah. It's made of Torah. It's made of the building blocks of the Astora, the concealment is made of Torah. Because Torah is the building block of everything. And this, everything needs to have chayes from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, life first from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and the way that the Astora gets it is also from the letters of the Torah. Now, when the tzaddik is learning Torah, and he's mamshir into the Torah, and he's building the das, and he puts the das into the malchus, into his malchus, what that does, that flips the switch on the letters of the Torah that comprise the concealment, and instead of concealment, flips the switch. It reverses the phase. What's it called in electricity? Reversing the phase. What? The current. Reversing the current. Whatever it's called. I don't know. Whatever it is, and from Astora becomes Gilui. Suddenly the Torah that made the Astora becomes revealed. When the Torah itself in the Astora becomes revealed, the klipos, which are the essence of Astora, which feed off Astora, that's the stake. That's their, basically they burn out. The light burns them out. And the Torah, Rabbeinu says, the Torah that is concealed in those places, that is made, the Astora b'toch Astora, the deeper the concealment, the more opaque it is, the more blinding it is, the higher is the Torah that makes it, that builds it. So in the Astora b'toch Astora, the people, the depth of the depth, the Astora b'toch Astora is comprised of the highest, deepest Sisra Torah. And we'll explain why this must be. Now, the only nikudah that I actually want to talk about a little bit is this thing that Rabbeinu calls Arichus Yomim. See, this is the major component. Your mamtik, the acerbic nature of the malchus through Arichus Yomim. Arichus Yomim is through the das. The das is also from Arichas Yomim. So we see Arichas Yomim from this side, Arichas from that side. And we spoke about it once, but it's something which needs to be said again. Arichos means drawing, flow, and shefa, like Arich Anpin. Yomim, Rabbeinu says in this Torah, is the measurements. We measure our lives in days, in weeks, in months, like the Torah is measured in letters, in words, in psukim. Life itself, umidas yomai, the measurement, the vessel of my days, mahi. Mahi is ma chukim v'torah. That's the Torah itself. The days are the measurements with which you are drawing up the Chaim from Chaim, from Kodesh Baruch Hu, and you're able to feed it to those who need it. So you have like two opposing. You have on one hand you have arichus, flow, the more the better. You have yomim. Yomim means that much, no more. Not 2 days, 1 day. Not 2 weeks, 1 week. Not 2 months, 1 month. In other words, it's a tzimtzum. You're supposed to put this kind of duality, arichas and yomim, both sides, into the malchus, into the das. That's the thing that builds it all. What it means is that within the das, what am I supposed to do? The easiest thing in the world is to tell everybody what they're doing wrong, including me. Me telling myself, I'm no good, I'm not doing this, I should be doing this, and how I'm not embarrassed, how I'm not ashamed. And that's the easiest thing in the world. But the only thing that this is going to achieve is breaking me down. Totally discourage me. Why? Because it's too much. The main reason why people are far from Avodas Hashem is Ribui Or. Ribui Or, too much light. How do you picture Avodas Hashem? Let me think. First of all, saying the entire Sefer Tehillim every day, every single word, great kavanah, take like 3.5 hours. That's point number one. Okay, obviously chatzos. Please, come on, we're children, of course, chatzos. And then, obviously, you have to go to the feld. You have to make his bridadus. You have to go to the mill. Kol chatzos, and go to the mikveh. Daven vasikim with all the koiches, and then. As Rabbeinu says, Rabbeinu made a list of what a person needs to learn every single day of his life. You don't have time to do anything else, obviously.
Where's that list?
Sichos HaRambam says that. Mona of stuff of advarim that the person has to go through entire Shas, entire Shulchan Aruch, entire Zohar, it says, how does a person have time for anything else? And the person can't do it. Every person comes about with his own limitations. Not everything that ideally should be done can be done by every person at any given moment in time. That delicate balance between is that I should be doing, or rather what it is I should not be doing, really should not be doing, and what it is I should not drive myself crazy about. This is the thing that is represented by juxtaposition of Arichos and Yomim. Arichos is Or, Yomim is a Midah. That kind of balance. Don't allow yourself any kind of leeway this way. And here, Jonah is crazy. Please, come on, relax. That's a Richus Yom. This is something you have to receive from the tzaddik. And the Torah. When you learn Torah, and you learn the Torah of the tzaddik mamshich eitzas hamukris, deep advice which fit every single person where he is, where to say, stop kidding yourself, and where to say, don't drive yourself nuts. Don't drive yourself nuts. This is the eitzah of the tzaddik. This is the eitzah of the. This is achieved through the eitzah of the tzaddik. The balance. How much don't wishful think, allowing yourself things that you should not, and on the other side, don't go bonkers. Remain sane. Remain balanced. This is achievable only with the koyach of the tzaddik emes. The eitzah, this is what the tzaddik emes is mamshich through is the mamshich to his malchus, to the das, and the das comes to the malchus, and he brings, and this is megala that star for everybody. And the initial gilui, is by every single person who is in the story. That's the initial awakening of the Torah. The Torah itself is awakening. When the Torah is being revealed in the Astara, in the concealment, when it becomes Torah, the Torah itself is screaming at a person and saying, "Come on, what else do you need? Until when are you going to be so enraptured with shtuyot, with foolishness? Wake up. Wake up." And when a person gets this kind of eserus, go to Kodesh Baruch Hu and ask him. I'm telling you now, you would be shocked. You would be shocked if you were to know how Kodesh Baruch Hu answers everything you ask for. You'd be shocked. Not only when you're asking with B'dibur, but even in your thought. You'd be shocked. This is what they say, L'Osid Lavoi, when they said that L'Osid Lavoi, the Yetzirah, the Tzadikim will see like a big mountain, the Rishon will see like a, like a string, Chut HaSa'ara. The main thing is that I'm not talking about the tzaddikim. I'm not talking about chas v'chalila about the Rishon. None of us is a rosh of chas v'chalila. But the main charata of Olam Haba is this inyan. What I could have done, what I could have achieved, just opening my mouth and asking for it. Yeah, but I can't make his burritos. You go a whole hour. I cannot do that. A little half an hour. But I can't do half an hour. 10 minutes. But I can't do 10 minutes. 2 minutes. I can't do 2 minutes. 2 words. You can't say 2 words. Think it. But you don't want to think alavad that you would want it. Kodesh Baruch Hu is with you and by you. The different levels of being alone, of being lonely. There's a level of somebody doesn't have anyone. And then there's a level of somebody that has people around him, but nobody cares. Lo echpat lahem, And then, there has a person that there are people around him who care about him. But inside his head is all alone. The love of all the people that they give to him doesn't enter that confinement, solitary confinement that the person is in his own brain. Kodesh Baruch Hu is there. Kodesh Baruch Hu is there. That place where you are all alone, Kodesh Baruch Hu is there with you. You can talk to him even in machshava. Call him in a machshava. Call him in a dibur. If a person asks, Kadosh Baruch Hu decided, Kadosh Baruch Hu is an Avarachman. The Avarachman means that the trait of a true merciful father is that the default answer to anything that his child asks him is yes, unless there's a reason to say no or to say not yet. If there's no reason to say not yet or no reason to say no, the answer is automatically yes. That's a well-adjusted father. Kodesh Baruch Hu obviously is exactly that. Just ask, just ask. You know something? Ask to ask. Ask Kodesh Baruch Hu to ask him. In machshava, in dibur, in message, ask to ask. Or ask to ask to ask. I don't care how many asks backwards you need to go. This is the schol of everything. That's the beginning of Avodas Hashem. And whatever it is that you ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives on the spot, sometimes you see it on the spot, sometimes you don't. Baruch Hashem, we are getting closer to Rosh Hashanah. That Hashem, closer to Rosh Hashanah by Rabbeinu, with the Tzaddik Emes. That Hashem, so Bezoicha, you know, now that all the Chachmalogim, those who figured themselves to be so wise, they get up these pashas. You have the Meraglim, you have Kairach. These are all, you know, smart Alex. They know everything. They got it all figured out. You know, if they came to me, I would have told them exactly the way it's supposed to be done. And it all starts from Kotzer Ruach. There's no Arichas Yomim. The Meraglim. How the Meraglim is you know what a hard reality it is to be a spy. A spy is always, you know, like, what's this wrestling? Whatever it is, he suspects me. He doesn't suspect me. What's it going to be? That's a reality of a spy. Obviously, that's you know, those are Kodesh Baruch Hu Bechlal. They're not, there's a Kodesh Baruch Hu Bechlal. So then they don't have anybody to lean on, Bechlal. So all their lives is just, you know, grab and take and whatever it is, and figure out the safest route is to assume the worst about everybody right from the start. That's by them, but also by us. In Avodas Hashem, we live, many of us, at least I do, like a spy. Just waiting for the second shoe to drop, or the other shoe to drop. Every single thing that happens, I'm already like figuring 5 different things that will go wrong. That for sure will go wrong. You know, I'll be pleasantly surprised if they don't go wrong. This is the Meraglim. That's it. So they're supposed to go in the midbar. They lived, you know, air conditioned, they're not covered, whatever. Everything was open. They ate the man, whatever it is. It was fantastic madrega. The reason why they fell what they fell is because in Eretz Yisrael they saw you have to work, you have to till the fields, you have to start, you know, you start, you know, busy with gashmias. So we couldn't possibly do that. You know how many things could go wrong? Everything would go wrong. The earth won't give. I mean, the fields won't give whatever it is. There'll be problems. Then I'll be able to sell. I won't be able to sell. It'll be rain. There won't be. Come on, we'll never be able to make it. That's why they didn't want to go to the desert. The same thing, by the way, happened with Yosef and his brothers. You take a look at the Chumash, and Yosef says, "My brothers, Meraglim Atem, your spies." Yosef Tzaddik did not want to be Mitzar his brothers for nothing. It's time to torture them. Yosef, he says, told his brother, "You're living like spies. You're worried. What he wants to reign. He wants to be our king. You know how many things could go wrong with that? Who the heck does he think he is?" Miragli matin. You're living this, relax. Relax. Everything is good. Everything will be good. You know, sit a leg on a leg, your cup of coffee, relax. The world is beautiful. And once a person falls into that, that trap of living a life of a spy, then of course it becomes a kairach. Then the intellect starts being the lawyer of why taka everything should be, not only that anything will go wrong, but it's your fault. It's the tzaddik's fault. The tzaddik wants covered, he wants power, he dreams up all these things. When a person, this is the reason. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem will save us from living as miraglim. But Hashem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will save us from giving all kind of terutzim, told up curses, and from lawyerizing why the Yetzer Hara is the right one. But Hashem will be zoiche to geula shleimo, and B'ezrat Hashem, v'yes Mashiach tzidkeinu, B'ezrat Hashem, soon in our days, B'ezrat Hashem. Kol tov and be matzliach with everything. Kol tov. Baruch Hashem.